This is IR Lone Star Radio with Aperture and Shutter Speed. I'm TR Moore.
Photos.com.
Photos.com. And you are...
Yes, Tom. Yes, Tom.
You are what? Who are you?
Oh, I'm Dick.
But I knew it. You're coming on just being just weird already.
TRMorePhotos.com. You're listening to Aperture and Shutter Speed.
I walk in the door, you're all snotty. As soon as we get on the air, you come back. It's like this thing comes over you.
What? I try to build you up to where you feel confident.
I'm feeling good right now.
Handle the show yourself.
Oh, I don't know about that. This is your deal, man. I'm just here to just kind of fill in the gap. You're the star of the show, buddy.
The star? No,
you're the star.
No, you're the professional. I'm the amateur.
Yeah, well, everybody knows you. I'm just new on the block.
Well, it's because you change your name all the time. They don't know you as trmorephotos.com, like me.
When did I change my name? It's always been TR.
trmorephotos.com?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
Well, welcome to Aperture and Shutter Speed.
Yeehaw!
Montgomery County's photography and film show. We're having a good day today. I hope you guys. The sun is finally coming out. I see the sky is clearing up. I don't really get the weather these past couple of days because if you noticed, probably around 2 o'clock, it's gray. It's just gray. You're in purgatory.
It was cold.
And now it's going to get a lot better, hopefully. So you guys should get ready for some nice shots going out there. I mean, the golden hour doesn't exist here.
Yeah, I'm building a greenhouse, and I'm gonna have these beautiful flowers to photograph.
Yeah,
that's gonna be cool.
Okay.
Yeah, with bugs.
Are you inviting me out, Tom?
No, absolutely not. But I will bring you some tomatoes. One or two.
I mean, that's so
without
nice.
worms.
I'd rather take pictures.
No worms.
Let's go take pictures.
Oh, we could do that. I guess I'll do that.
Okay.
Get on the roof somewhere. Go to Austin.
Yeah, because nature's next month for our topic.
No, that's true.
So, I mean, do you think we'll have tomatoes by then? Probably not.
No. I'm growing them from seed.
Okay.
These are, no GMOs and no hybrids. They're pure seeds.
You're so picky about that
pure
stuff.
Seeds.
I mean, how do you expect the world to feed itself if you don't just allow a little bit
stuff.
of
I'm into Puritanism.
Yeah, I get it. That's why I'm the host and you're not.
Yeah.
Because I'm into all that bad stuff. Tranquilizers. What else can you put in my beef and my vegetables?
Herbicides, pesticides, concrete.
See, I bet you know the whole list. Don't
Everything.
You? That's ridiculous, Tom. But yeah, you're listening to Aperture and Shutter Speed. I want you to know if you're a photographer or amateur, that's me, Dick. I'm here to give you the perspective of somebody who is just continuously learning about the world of film and photography.
As we all are.
Well, yeah, we're all students or stewards, I guess, or
yes.
I don't know how you want to say who we are, but you're also the professional. trmorephotos.com. What we do every Wednesday at 3 o'clock is talk about photography and film.
And before we do that, we have not mentioned.
This is our sixth show, by the way.
Please take off your lens cover.
Oh, yeah. That happened. No, actually, we ran into that problem last weekend. Somebody didn't even have their lens cover on.
And they scratched their lens.
It was all hanging out in the bag. And I go, you got some serious issues in your life.
I know who that was, and I'm not going to snitch on her. So
yeah, it was a good seed there, too.
Yeah.
Did you see that mechanical bull?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I didn't get to ride that. They wouldn't let me do it.
It was raining, dude.
I know, but I was trying to convince the guy. He wouldn't let me do it. He goes, I'm serious, man. It's going to be a hazard. I'm
like, you can get electrocuted.
Yeah, but I was like, worth it, man. Come on. And no.
Yeah, well, you'll get popped. They'll shoot you right off of there. They got padding.
I mean, I don't mind getting a little excited in the morning. What's wrong with that? A little electrocution doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, you're just weird enough to like that. You're just a weird guy.
But yeah, so we've been talking about portrait photography all March, and we're going to be concluding that up next week. I think next week's our last Wednesday we're going to have together for the month of March, and we're going to try to get some models in. I think that's the goal.
You keep saying that.
Oh, trust me, I will deliver.
I'm expecting to walk in here next week and see this gorgeous girl with like 7-foot legs.
7-foot legs? How tall is this woman?
Well, she's a Neanderthal.
I mean, you want to take photos of that? I guess I got the lens for it. I got the lens for it. I guess I could do it. But I
was exaggerate. Can I exaggerate?
I guess. Well, no, I told you the kind of models I want to get here. I want to get those people who are taking mug shots. I want to get the drunks and stuff.
Oh, God. Not that again. Oh, I thought we were over that. Drag it back up.
So today what we're going to be talking about later on the show is we're going to be talking about completing your studio and adding a little bit more fun to each thing to make shots unique. And then we're going to follow that with going out of the studio and finding good places for portrait photography, how to go about it. Because I know personally I had a lot of fun when I first got to Abilene. I always like to know what's going on when it comes to scenery, where the sun sets the best or where it rises the best, and especially where the iconic places to take photos are.
Yeah, so got a question for you. Is there a place in Abilene you can go and you can find like an old truck or a tractor?
All over.
Or really?
All over.
Okay.
You just talk to people.
Oh, really?
I forgot the guy's name, but that's where I went.
That's a really good idea to interject. You like have an old tractor. And
Well, it's just like having the media badge on you at all times. You get a sense of authority when you meet people. When you have a camera like I do, people just think you belong. They think you know what you're doing. So you can start asking questions that are real personal. It's like, do you have a farm? Yeah, I have a farm. Do you have any flowers on that farm? Yeah. Can I come to this farm and take some photos? And so
yeah, please do, because all my photos suck.
Yeah,
because I use these cheap cameras, and I need a guy like you to spend about $6,000.
Oh golly, Tom, you're killing me. No, I'm just kidding. No, but no, we're gonna be talking about that later because there are some cool locations, especially here. I know behind the studio, probably at least twice a month, I find some random people shooting photography for senior. I have actually no idea what they're really shooting for. I imagine it's like senior pictures because they're young, and but I think there's downtown Conroe has some awesome photography. I got into some really cool shots when it's foggy here in the mornings, and especially at night. You get some cool, and nobody's here, so it's even eerie. It has this eerie setting. It actually reminds me of I'm trying to think of that photographer's name, that famous French photographer who did Paris at night. That the whole set list, and it's all foggy, and he had this lamp. Okay, yeah, never mind.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll get the name during the break, but then. Other than that, I mean, that's really what we're going to be talking about is finishing up portrait photography. I encourage all the listeners out there to call in 936-647-3776. That's 936-647-3776 to call in with your portrait ideas or, yell at Tom because you don't know what he's talking about or anything. I'm up to talk to anybody. Are you up to talk to anybody today, Tom?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want a model.
No, he wants a model with 7-foot legs. What kind of model? I mean, you have such high. Why is it always going to be an attractive model?
Well, I mean, as long as they're interesting.
Oh, we know you're interested in.
Have to have interesting hair, eyes.
What's funny about this? I was in the car.
I mean, you can just shoot people's eyes. Just their eyes.
I was in the car today, and we're behind a Goodwill truck. And they had the Goodwill team on the back, and it was probably the largest group or collective group of normal-looking people I've ever seen.
That's scary.
And they were not models, and I thought I liked it, but you probably wouldn't.
No, I bet it would be interesting. They were on the truck.
On the truck, it was like Goodwill, drop off your stuff.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah.
But it was like the people who actually worked at Goodwill. It might have been. It was a Goodwill. I'm pretty sure it's Goodwill. But
so
yeah,
you could get a realistic shot.
Yeah,
I do those a lot.
But I'll tell you what though, they weren't flattering pictures. It was almost like they walked into a Goodwill while this person is helping load this truck, and it's like, hey man, stand up straight, give me a smile. Like just awkward, half the eyes are open, I'm like, and then they just slap it on the back of a truck. And then I even made that comment. I go, can you imagine being with those people? But,
okay, moving right on.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's what's going on for the show. I encourage everyone to call in, tell us that we're complete idiots. 936-647-3776. We're actually going to take a break real quick, but when we come back, we're going to continue talking about the goodness of what a great studio has. And I think Tom has some ideas, right?
Tissue paper.
Tissue paper.
Tissue paper.
That's their teaser?
Sketching paper.
Sketching paper.
Tracing. That's it. Tracing. Sorry. Tissue tracing.
You're listening to Aperture and Shutter Speed. We'll be right back. Here's Little Jackson Brown for you. Disco!
Hello, I'm Bonita DeRosa, Animal Control Officer for the City of Willis. We invite you to tune in to Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. for the Willis Hour. On the first Thursday of the month, the Willis Hour will be covering upcoming events and news about the city. Join in the conversation with your city officials and other leaders in the community. On the third, we will be doing a recap of the last City Council meeting. The mission of the City of Willis is to provide high-quality services, accountability, and professional commitment to our citizens. We pledge to provide those who live, work, and visit our city an effective government that is open and responsive to the needs and values of the community. Again, we invite you to tune in on Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 for the Willis Hour.
Hi, I'm Joyce with the Corner Pub in downtown Conroe. We're located at the corner of Simonton and North Main, just across the street from the courthouse. The week starts off Monday with open mic hosted by Alan, and Tuesday nights open mic hosted by Jeremy Bankhead. And on Thursday evening, McFarland Jams. There's nightly drink specials available every night, all night. And don't forget, live entertainment every weekend. To see a full list of events, visit our website at thecornerpubinconroe.com. So come join us at the Corner Pub, where the deli is open late.
Since the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo awarded its first scholarship, we have sent nearly 15,000 students to college on show scholarships. Just this year, 2,000 students are attending more than 100 Texas colleges and universities on show scholarships worth nearly $30 million. Combined with the junior market auction money, livestock and horse show premiums and prizes, cat scramble awards, school art auction money, judge and contest prizes, grants to universities, and funds to cultural, community, and civic organizations, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo has committed more than $350 million to youth and education throughout Texas. Learn more at rodeohouston.com.
Broken off mop pole or something, and just hang it there in front of the light. If it's on a table, you can separate it with a book on the one side and book on the other, so you have a little bit of air space so you don't create a shadow. And that makes for a beautiful way to soften the light, diffuse the light, and you don't have to go out and buy expensive gels or anything like that. And you can get different colors too, like if you get a light, very pale blue, that'll be nice for skin tone and to create a really pretty effect. So that's just a little tip. And then also these cool lenses that they've come out with by Focus, is that right? P-H-O-C-U-S?
That's more for film.
Okay, this is for film, but I'm going to throw this out because so many people have cameras with their phones. And this is a 2-lens bundle, and it's like $80, and you can get 14 millimeter or 24 millimeter, and actually have some zoom, or not zoom, but some...
It's just a little bit of quality lens for your iPhone. Right. They're meant for iPhone 4Ss and 5Ss, and we talked about them probably about 2 weeks ago, a week ago, talking about some of the films made for the Oscar shorts were filmed with iPhones, and what equipment's out there that actually turn your iPhone into a legitimate, I call them home recorders, basically, the mentality of having a home recorder.
And that's for $80.
Yeah, for $80, it comes with a case that allows you to apply it to a tripod. It has the screws on it.
That's so cool.
And then, the 2-lens bundle comes with a wide-angle lens and a macro lens.
Okay, so for flowers or bugs.
Yeah, and it also works for photography too.
Right.
So it's a
little portrait.
It's you can go for portrait.
Shoot.
And I've used it actually. The reason I brought it up before we started the show was I was at a dinner party and people were in town, and a lot of people who have cell phones, they leave their phone on the table because I guess they don't like it hitting their hip or something in their pocket. For a male, this is a male by the way, and he had this huge case, and I saw the lens. I was like, hey man, you have one of those Focuses. And he's like, oh, you know what this is? I'm like, heck yeah, I know. I just read about it in the Wall Street. And I was like, that's really one of the coolest little devices I was interested about. But $80 is the entry one, and it goes all the way up to $300.
And that's with 5 lenses.
5 lenses, and you get a boom mic for your video. I mean, you get a lot of cool stuff, and then it all attaches to the case. The case itself, if you can imagine, it literally looks like a brick, and you slide your phone into it, and then you hold it like a DSLR.
So it stabilizes it. I mean, what's the slide? What?
Well, it's almost like you ever like transferred hard drives before, just like that. Like you just slide it in, and it has a little clip. So you can even get brackets to make it more secure.
Okay.
But yeah, it was really neat because how easy it was just to change the lenses, because you're not actually doing anything with the phone. The phone is actually just looking through a lens, like a binocular, basically.
You just attach it.
It's just, and so there's
like an exterior app, or something.
And you get some interesting shots. I messed with the 2 lenses he had. I think he had just the Focus Bundle Plus, which I think is $100, but they range. Actually, no, he had 3 lenses, so I think he had the $110 for the 3 lens bundle, which it was good. I thought it was cool, and I shot some video with it, and I shot some photos of the party, and I walked around with it. And it was neat. I was impressed.
You walked out to your car and got in and started up and drove off.
No. But no, he was nice enough, because I think just the fact that I knew what it was, he didn't really care what I did with it, because I put my phone on it.
Because he knows you're a star, right?
The
king of talk radio.
The king, yeah. No.
Okay. Anyway, so that 5 bundle is like $300.
Oh yeah, but it comes with a lot more. You can actually Adorama.com has a couple examples of it. Or you can just go to smartfocus.com. That's like smart and then PHOCUS.com. You can see what we're talking about. It's pretty. The thing that actually I liked about it the most was back, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, the VHS recorders, the big dogs that your dad would have, or when home video recording became a popular thing among family members to like share videos. Like, when everyone comes home for Christmas, we watch some home videos. This actually will replace it.
Wow.
And it's not even that much. It's not even that much bigger than, I would say a notepad, like carrying around a notepad, handheld notepad, not like big old stationary one. But so you go to family vacations and stuff. You bring this with you. So if you want to shoot some home videos of a birthday, blowing out candles, I mean, it literally just slide it in, and there you go. You can start shooting a little better product than like what you would shoot with your phone.
Well, I'll tell you, I had a friend go to Florida, and he was filming with his Android in the Everglades on an airboat going about 60 miles an hour, and I was freaking because it looked amazing. And he was in front of the airboat. It's a big propeller. He can just go over stumps and stuff. It was amazing.
I wanted to tell you something I found. Someone did a special effects shot. If you're trying to make it in the film industry these days, you literally just do a test. You make your own reels, and someone made a VFX shot of Superman flying around the city. So if you go Superman first person, type that into to YouTube, and you'll find a video. They used a GoPro. Basically what they did was they took a GoPro, put it in one of those machines we were talking about a couple episodes ago, and it was actually on a plane. It wasn't a helicopter. It was a plane. They put it on one of those gas-powered little planes, and they shot the whole video of the plane flying around, and they took the footage, and they put hands in it, like Superman. And then it was really interesting because they I guess I'm sorry, I'm kind of going blank because I'm actually watching the video right now. Getting distracted.
Was Christopher Plummer in it?
Christopher Plummer? You mean the guy from The Sound of Music?
No, wasn't Christopher Plummer? Wasn't he Superman?
No, Christopher Reeves, and
that's right.
And he's passed.
I know.
He's
and I
dead.
was just wondering if maybe he was in it.
Man, way to bring that up.
Okay.
But what's really cool?
That bombed.
Well, no, but it would.
Okay, moving on.
The reason I brought it up.
Let's talk about locations.
Oh.
Let's talk about scouting for locations.
Well, that's the next segment.
Okay.
You're not any fun. You're killing me right now.
Well,
936-647-3776.
When you fall on your face.
Yeah.
When you fall on your face, you have to do something to,
But no, you
off.
should check out the video. I was wrong about the search term. Superman with a GoPro is what they call it. And they shot it with a little jet plane. And so you know how
jet plane?
Yeah, well, because what they did is they shot the footage, the B-roll footage, with like a plane, a little remote control plane, flying around New York or wherever it was, like doing dives, doing really cool stuff. Because like what they show is like it floats and then he sees a robbery going on, so the plane flies down, but it's Superman. Like they literally took a green screen of a guy,
Christopher Plummer.
Yeah, they got Christopher Plummer, and you see his arms, and then like they did some special effect shot to make it look like it was smooth, and like when he land, he beat up the guys, and then he's like, "Thank you, citizen," and then he'd fly away, but then it would shoot really high up.
That was Christopher Reeve.
That was Christopher. No, it was some other. It was just some guy that wants to make a video.
Oh.
Corridor Digital. That's a company that.
Nobody knows who they are.
Well, they're just trying to show what they can do, and with what they had, I bet that whole shot, the whole production, probably cost them with all the equipment and everything, $1,500.
That's cheap.
And it looked good, and if you showed that to you, you'd be impressed, and you probably want to pay them $1,500 to, do some special effects. I don't know.
Maybe.
But it looked cool, and that's one of my favorite things. I always like checking out YouTube's perfect for this kind of stuff, but seeing what people are doing new in the film industry.
Sure, it's always fun to see new things.
Like if you want an example and you're listening, you're into film, and you want to see somebody who literally did a one-stop shop for special effects, acting, and lighting, type in Freddie W.
Freddie
That's
W.
FREDDIEW. He became kind of a YouTube sensation because what he would do is he would integrate action films into like video game stuff from video games. So he would give you a video game scenario, and then he would make it real action, or like instead of like in the video game, it's actually real people. And he got to the point. He's now to the point where he gets famous people to star in them, and they're just for fun. Like probably one of the funniest ones to give any audience out there knows a game called Halo. You ever heard of Halo?
No.
You know, Tom.
No.
Now you're in your greenhouse all the time.
That's right.
But no, he's done a little special effects. He was in the newest Call of Duty promo. If you ever seen Call of Duty promos, the commercials you see. Yeah, he was in the newest one, and I think he helped make it. So that's basically what he did. Was he taught himself how to shoot, how to light, and how to edit, and then how to do After Effects.
You can do it. You can
he did it.
learn
He did it
how
all
to
himself.
produce your own films by studying up and spending a lot of time.
Yeah, and he even what's cool about him, and this is one thing I love about the new age of filmmaking, is people explain it to you. This isn't like Steven Spielberg where he just taught himself everything and doesn't want to talk about it. It's like he will sit here, and after each episode he makes, he has another episode talking about how he made it, how he made this gunshot look real, and how he had the blood, like how they did the blood, and how they did the this special effect that was really cool. And I like that. I like learning about that kind of stuff because you get to almost respect the video for what it is, which is nice.
And what goes into it.
Yeah.
How much. Yeah, I saw a video production, a wedding scene. It was a whole crew of guys, 4 cameras, all DSLR 5D Mark IIIs with jibs and cranes, and producer and 4 photographers. All of these staging and actors, and it was a total of 3 minutes after 10 hours of photographing. That's all they got.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so.
Well, I mean, probably because they didn't have the location scouted out.
No, they had everything, man. They had the beautiful. That's what it took to get 3 minutes of what they used.
I believe it.
Professional.
But you're listening to Aperture and Shutter Speed. We're going to be taking a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about finding the right location.
IRLoneStar.com
with trmorphos.com and Dick. We'll be back with more Aperture and Shutter Speed following this
Schisler.
message.
Time go by, they do their jobs, and live and die.
Hey y'all, Montgomery County Emergency Assistance is presenting their first annual Don't Mess with Texas Women Concealed Handgun class on Saturday, April 12th at the Conroe Shooting Center, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's limited to 30 participants. It's just $100, with all proceeds benefiting Montgomery County Emergency Assistance. Register online at mcea-tx.org. Bring your gun and let's have some fun. Don't Mess with Texas Women Concealed Handgun class, April 12, 2014, and all proceeds benefit Montgomery County Emergency Assistance.
Hello Hello, I'm Mark Hader.
And this is Cindy Cochran inviting you to join us on the Cindy and Mark Show each weekday morning from 10 to 11 here on Lone Star Internet Radio.
Super, Cindy, but I believe it's the Mark and Cindy Show.
Huh? Yes, it is, Mark. And it's broadcast live on Lone Star Internet Radio here in beautiful downtown Conroe. Oh, the exciting things we'll talk about, the interesting guests you'll get to meet, the wonderful gifts we'll give away, and the tons of...
Wait. Gifts? There are no gifts. I'm not giving away anything. Why do you get to decide on what we do? It's Mark and Cindy, remember?
Oh, yeah? Well, so ladies and gentlemen, tune in and we'll all find out who gets to decide stuff. Weekday mornings at 10 here on Lone Star Internet Radio. How was that?
It could have been worse. You could have sung your part.
Oh, yeah, wait. It's the Mark and Cindy Show. The Mark and Cindy Show. The Mark and Cindy Show. The Mark and Cindy Show.
All right. You're listening to Aperture and so to speak. We're back. It is 3:32. It's me, Dick, with...
Tom Moore, TR Moore Photos, and we're going to talk about next location scouting and what to do to find that perfect location for those graduation photos or for that newborn baby.
But what's always nice, and especially if you're getting more and more into portrait photography as a professional or even as an amateur, you got to have your go-to locations for certain types of shoots because you definitely want covered areas for... because you can't control the weather sometimes, but sometimes there's some locations that it doesn't matter what weather's going on, it still looks good. There's actually very few that I can remember that always look good. Probably my favorites have always been forests. I guess like when you go to a forest and you can bring a generator and bring some lights and stuff like that. Because one thing we're gonna talk about is trying to where to start, and then also what you can do to make the scene a little better. You don't have to just take pictures of where is naturally there. You can spruce it up, because we've done. I remember, like I was telling Tom earlier, like while we're on break, is there was a guy who we knew had like a junkyard. He had literally a junkyard of just old tractors, old kind of stuff. And so what we did is we moved one of the tractors more towards like a more desirable background of like foliage or the sun or whatever. And then we would plant some flowers, like some daisies or something that would just kind of went around the wheels. That kind of gave it that, I don't know how to put that, pretty look. It looked like it was a pretty thing.
Old and new.
Yes, and that's where we shot a couple, some couples out there, for their wedding photography. Shooting anniversary, what do you call them, like engagement photos. I mean, I get that's like a fun deal for the people involved, but it just seems so silly to me because they spend some money. And like that became, I don't know, when did that become popular to do engagement photos? Probably about 8 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah, things change.
But I mean, like, well,
it's a fad.
Well, do you think it's a fad?
Because we'll see in 10 years.
Well, I know a lot of people. The lady was so excited about them, and even people, they don't even need an excuse to get married. They'll just go out and do couple photos. Like they actually have that listing under a perfect. Do you have that listing? If I can't, you ever have people come up to you and it's like, I need a good photo of us as a couple.
Sure.
And I don't know, man. That would make me laugh. I'm like, so you can't take good photo? Like what are you looking for? Boudoir photography? I'd be all over that. But
I know you.
yeah, I like boudoir photography. You don't like that?
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't shoot that?
Okay.
She has to be a 7-foot leg.
All right. Moving on.
Man, Tom.
Call the city, and they'll give you good ideas, good tips of where to go.
Yeah, where you go.
Like where there's a historic building or some historic site, something has good visual content. Or go to a local grocer or barber shop.
You're taking my ideas.
Yeah,
You're
I am.
so.
Moving on.
I'm never sharing my things.
Go to a store, a grocer, or a barber shop. Or a city park.
You're missing the point of those. I said I told you those, but they have to be a location that's been there for a while because typically
and the barber's gonna know everything.
Yeah, you look for people who you think would know a lot more about the area, especially if you go to like little towns like LaGrange, like perfect. Like I bet there's some awesome spots in LaGrange. But you
Abilene,
that's where
Abilene.
When I first moved to Abilene, but you have to be not afraid to ask people what you want. Like you go, where would be a good place? Like one of my
And you are brash. I mean, you will go up and ask anybody anything.
well, yes.
Like
And-
that time we went to La Toretta and you just walked right in the kitchen and just started shooting people. Just the food, just like that. I was like, "Look, what's he doing?"
I did.
And,
I
and
asked.
he just went up there and just started shooting all these chefs.
I asked,
And they were cool. And
Yeah.
it worked. It was great.
Hey, I didn't
but I
get-
wouldn't have done that.
I wouldn't have gotten in there.
because
I didn't get in there.
I was like,
I asked.
they're going to kick us out of here. This guy is so brash. But you got the job done, Dick. Good work, buddy.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. What's really cool about portrait photography and finding a good location, it's just about always be thinking about good locations, especially here in towns like Conroe where the history is deep. And you can always find people, like, I bet that lady knows something about never mind. But there was a nice little lady walking by. But
She looked like olive oil back then.
yeah, well, it's 7 feet tall, legs, yeah, sweet. No, so like for example, I went to when I got
Long
when I first got
legs,
to there,
long.
yeah, there she is.
Yep. She didn't look like olive oil.
yeah.
She did from the back.
I can't believe she can hear you probably. That's hilarious. Yeah. Oh man, that's so
Well, I
funny.
forgot that's going out.
Yeah, you
onto
forgot
the
that. Yeah, you
street.
forgot to
Oh,
go on the
that's
street.
Hilarious. That's why she turned around.
But no, anyway, like for example, right when I got
She's
to
making
Abilene,
hand signs at you, Dick.
well, yeah, and
She thought that was you saying that.
yeah,
Not me.
who never disco. But no, like right when I first got to Abilene, I took the opportunity to talk to the president of the school at the time because there's always a president and he's always a person who's been there the longest. And I was like, hey man, I'm in photography. What do you suggest? And he mentioned there's like a fountain and there's also a park. And I forgot what that park I wanted to tell you because it reminded me of Hobbiton.
Fernland Park in Montgomery, Texas.
Oh, no, this is in Abilene.
Oh.
And then other than that, like you just look for people who you think like who have a history with the town. And especially like in downtown Abilene, there are some old shops. Like one of the oldest shops there, well, it's not really old, but it's been there for like 30 years, is the tobacco shop. And
Bunch of old people with cancer.
oh, it's great.
Dying.
And
like a hand sticking out of the ground with a cigarette in their hand.
No, that's real fancy actually.
Tar dripping off their
It
fingers.
was a cool
Not
place.
SARS. Okay.
But they knew a lot because they were downtown for so long, or the people who were there are downtown. So I got access to some back alleyway stuff and really cool. Like actually, one of my favorite time was Abilene. It's similar to Conroe. Like there's like Conroe Tower. They have buildings like that, which is a little higher. And I was shooting a film for I forgot what it was. I was the DP of something. Like I was helping him out, but he wanted some establishing shots of the town. And so what I did is I go up to the bank. Don't talk to corporate people because the worst thing about corporate people is they don't say yes, they don't say no. They go, let me check. And then every time they
We have to have a meeting.
yeah, like no, really,
And it'll take a month because the
there was-
board has to okay it first.
yeah. So there's the Bank of America had a building, and it was I saw where you could go up to the roof, like you could see it. I'm like, all I want to do is climb up that ladder, and then it's over.
You might get hurt, buddy.
no, and,
where's my lawyer?
The guy told me I had to get a permit,
Oh, of course.
and all I needed was literally
The fire department will have to be out for that one.
4 minutes of shooting. That's all I really just B-roll 4 minutes of shooting, and.
You should have just done it. You should just
Well, no, this is-
gone up there.
No.
Hey, what's a guy doing up there? Hey, you got to get down from there. I'm shooting.
This is what I did.
Get out right now. We're going to call the police on you.
No, what I did
what'd
is
you do?
the adjacent building that was connected to it was like a baker, and then it was basically it was a little lower, but you could see how you could literally Spider-Man your way up there. And so I went
You're from Superman to Spider-Man.
Well,
Okay,
I'm a comic book fan.
Okay, you are.
It's
Go
crazy,
ahead.
right?
Go ahead.
But well, anyway, I went to the baker and I was like, blah 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 blah. Can I get on here? He's like, yeah, it'd be cool. And then I told him like, let me take some photos of your baked goods and I'll for exchange. You always gotta be friendly and you always gotta offer.
You didn't
something.
say, let me take a photos of your buns
No, I said your baked
or
goods
your breasts,
and then maybe show me how to make some of them, and maybe that's
like chicken breasts.
And so I got on his roof, climbed the ladder from his roof, climbed the AC unit, and got on top of the Bank of America building, basically. And I got my shot. No one got hurt.
There you
got
go.
Got what I needed to get done.
You're alive.
And it was pretty funny because the guy was with me because he was just part of the project, but he didn't want to like do all. I don't know why you guys are so afraid. You just need to start asking people. Don't be afraid to go in the kitchen and be like, "Gosh, shoot you guys while you're filming it or while you're cooking fish." That was pretty cool though. We got some good shots then.
Really good.
But
Very nice.
But yeah, don't be afraid. If you're listening, you're doing portrait photography on location, don't be afraid to ask people where they think would be a good place. Because even if they're not photographers, a lot of people know areas that are pretty.
And a good place to go is the Ice House on 2854. They have a huge Lone Star flag, just like the one here at IR Lone Star Radio, but it's like 10 times bigger. So you like get an old.
So you're trying to say my flag's small?
No, your flag's okay. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I dig it. I mean, I think it looks hip. So you could have like an old car out there with a Lone Star flag. And then one other place, before you kill me with your dagger eyes, is Fernland Park, where they have like 17th century, 16th century old homes. And they have like this logging wagon where they used to pull logs. So I call it a logging wagon. And they had like this sawmill hut thing with all these big saws and stuff. It's pretty cool. So there's some really neat stuff over there, and they have an area where it's real like a waterfall. So
Shop often for the best selection. Jazzy Junk is located in the outlets at Conroe on League Line Road and I-45 North. Call 936-441-4500 or visit our website, jazzyjunk.org. That's JUNQUE for more information and store hours.
Hello, this is Dennis Nelson, inviting you to come with me through the doorway of imagination and into the theater of the mind. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour presents a play every Saturday night at 7 p.m. on Lone Star Internet Radio. Be it drama or comedy, thriller or love story, every exciting episode is carefully chosen straight from the golden age of radio and performed live by talented actors, musicians, and sound effects crew. Every sound you hear will be 100% live and homemade. Anything can happen. So join us, please, every Saturday night at 7 p.m. for the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour, right here on Lone Star Internet Radio.
You're listening to Aperture and Shutter Speed. It's 3:52 on IRLoneStar.com, Montgomery County's film and photography show, where basically trmorephotos.com acts insane, and I try to talk about food, not photography.
Okay, now just a little plug here.
Oh, okay.
This is plugging IR Lone Star Radio, and TR More Photos Home and Garden Magazine is going to have a really very nice article on this in this coming 25th edition.
Okay.
That's to the April edition, so y'all check that out. It's going to be kind of
Is my photo in it?
No.
Then what? How's it nice?
It mentions you and talks about what a great
I'm
guy
kidding.
you are at the very end. So it forces people to read the whole thing for the
That's
best
good.
for the end. So
Yeah. That's so funny.
So there you go.
I want to know who that man outside. What kind of camera was
I
that?
don't know, but it's a nice camera. He looked like a pro.
Okay, if he comes back, we'll yell at him.
Yeah, just drag him in here.
Yeah. Where are you?
Hey, we're live. You need to come and talk on the radio.
But yeah, so portrait photography is pretty cool. I think hopefully next week we'll get those models in the studio for Tom. I'm gonna tell him about you though, if that's okay.
This guy's really weird. You really want to do this?
Yeah. I'm gonna get my mugshot guys in here. That's what I'm gonna. I'm actually really am gonna do that.
Run everybody off.
No, I'm just gonna get the guy who shoots the photos.
Don't
for all the
forget
mugshots.
tracing paper, because you can diffuse the light with tracing paper, ladies.
Just like
Very cheap, and guys too, or if you're in high school or college,
yeah, here we go.
you do what
You're gonna get an apartment.
that's it. Yeah, you just try to think of the future.
But yeah, so we're gonna be wrapping up the show. Do you want to last thing you want to say, Tom? Besides, how to get an apartment when it comes to.
Well, I would like to say that get up off your buns and get your camera out and start taking photos.
Well, that's what that guy was doing.
He was doing. He heard us, and he's doing it.
And to go over the products we talked about today, Smart Focus, that's a little camera attachment for your iPhone to turn your iPhone into a more, I guess, mobile film photographer.
It's a good way to
camera.
get into film, I mean, you can make some legitimate noise with those things.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know about
it's
spending
serious.
$300, but $80 isn't too bad for
Yeah,
a case.
$80.
and
Hey.
2 lenses.
Yeah, and if you're in high school, you save up your allowance or whatever.
Oh,
if
here
you
we
got
go.
a job.
Oh my God!
Go to
Network,
work.
people.
Go to work.
People. But
Okay.
visit smartfocus.com. That's SMARTPHOCUS.com, or visit our sponsor Adorama.com, and they have a couple packages on there. Just type in Smart Focus there, and they actually have that 2 lens package.
And they got a lot of really good deals. I mean, hundreds of dollars off. Usually they're pretty big packages, though. I mean, they run $1,200, $1,500. But if you can get a couple hundred, $200-$300 off, that's really good because they're very competitive. Very competitive.
Okay.
Much more than B&H.
That's
Much more
true.
than Calumet.
Are they open on Sabbath?
Yes.
Yeah. See, they already
A little
got
bit.
they already got the one up
A
on.
little bit.
I don't know. Probably not.
But they're not open on Sunday.
That's
Saturday. I'm sorry. Saturday really is the first day of the week.
Oh God, here we go. I love it when the
It
photo
is
places are closed,
The
just because.
true first day of the week.
That's so funny. If you guys didn't know, like B&H, then them are run by religious people, and then they.
It was Constantine in 300.
All right, we're getting out of here. We're getting out of here. This is
26
horrible.
BC.
I'm letting you talk way too much. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back.
Constantine.
Yeah, we'll be back Wednesday with some
325.
models. I think with Tom's models. We're looking for if you do a 7-foot legged model, but Tom wants to talk to them. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Make
You
sure
can
to visit
do that with Photoshop,
Oh yeah, I know.
7-foot leg.
You're ridiculous. But make sure to look us up on Facebook, Aperture and Shutter Speed. Also, Lone Star Internet Radio. Like I said, we're here every Wednesday at 3 p.m. If you want to be a guest, contact me at dick@irlonestar.com.
IRLoneStar.com.
And yeah, so thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Hey everyone, this is Tina, your host from Retro Saturdays. I wanted to invite you to visit the Lone Star Studios here in downtown Conroe, Texas. We're all volunteers here, and we need your help in serving the Montgomery County area. Radio media is a fun field to be in. Lone Star Internet Radio serves Montgomery County with news, current events, local programming, and of course, music. If you are interested in volunteering and sharing your talents in media, go to irlonestar.com and let us hear from you. Lone Star Internet Radio, serving Montgomery County from the heart of downtown Conroe.